Well, I'm just trying to see. I'm 32 and I'm single. And I'm looking for some, like, decent men, and it's hard to find out here. So, any suggestions?
All right, so you're ready to settle down and be in a relationship?
Yeah, a serious one. Not I don't play around.
I think, you know what's funny? So I was with somebody that I do business with the other day. Two people, as a matter of fact, just recently told me they were looking to get in a relationship. One is a guy. He said he works all the time. And he's like, it's really hard for me to find somebody because all I do is work and I really don't like to go out. And then the other person that I was talking to, she just recently got a divorce after being married for 8 years. And she's like, I just need to get back out there. Now, let me ask you this. Do you go out or do you make any effort to meet people?
Yeah, I do make an effort. I actually tried online. That was a little bit crazy for me. And I will go out. I'm not a hermit or anything like that, but it just seems like people don't want to be in relationships. They just want to hook up, and I'm not about that.
I would say a couple of things that have always worked from my experience has been recommendations from your friends. Sometimes you have to tell people, you know, if you know any nice guys, it would be great if you could just hook me up, because I feel like that's a safer thing. It's never obviously a sure shot. But people ask me all the time, like, do you know anybody good? And my friend I told you who just got divorced, I already hooked her up to go on a date with somebody who's a pretty good catch. So if it works out, it works out. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But I do think you should let people know that you're cool with. Like, if you know anybody, let me know. Sometimes we feel embarrassed, like, putting ourselves out there like that. But we all know single people, and people come to me all the time, and they're like, hey, do you have any friends? You know, I'd love to go on a date, so I think you should do that. Have you asked any of your friends or coworkers?
Yeah, I do ask my friends. A lot of them, they tell me the guys aren't good enough. So I don't know what that means. You know, like they're saying, I don't want to hook you up with him because he's no good. I'm like, okay, well, damn. Sometimes
we also don't look at people that don't meet the qualifications that we feel like we have in our mind. And sometimes we have to give people a chance that maybe we wouldn't have given a chance ordinarily. Like, your friends might be like, well, I know you want a guy that's like this, this, and that, so he's not going to meet those qualifications. Also, if you have friends that are in relationships, a lot of times they're dating guys who have friends that they could be like, okay, my homegirl's looking for somebody, you know, do you have any friends that we could maybe go on like a little group outing?
Okay.
But yeah, definitely just always put it out there. And I'm glad that you tried online dating, because I do know a lot of people that have been successful. I've heard a lot of horror stories also. But I would say I do know people who have gotten married, you know, in that way too. And I think sometimes even with your friends, like, just make sure y'all plan trips and go places together. You could leave Detroit also, because maybe you'll end up being in a long distance relationship. But in general, just go out and do things that interest you, because if you do things that you're interested in other, like even going to a class or learning how to do something you never done before that you've always wanted to learn how to do, you can meet some like-minded people in environments like that are worth your time.
Okay, all right. Well, thank y'all very much.
All right, no problem. Good luck.
Good luck, mama. 800-585-1051 if you got a question for Yee. All right, Clarissa, what's your problem?
So my question is, I've been with my boyfriend for a year now, a little over a year. Everything's fine. He has 2 kids. I have no kids. Unfortunately, his family seems to be inviting his ex-girlfriend / baby mother to events.
Right.
Also, events that I am not being invited. Now, I've not necessarily had a problem with the family or anything like that, but I want to know, is this the girlfriend in me that's jealous, or at some point, is it okay that they, you know, stop including her on everything if it does not involve the child, if it's not a kid's event or anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, I guess, how long was he with his children's mother?
8 years.
All right, so they're probably used to her. He does have 2 kids with her, so the family probably has a level of comfort. But it's a little bit selfish because they are making you uncomfortable.
Right, because it's kind of like, at what point do you guys try to get used to me if you are still stuck on her? Like,
so do they have you there at the same time that she's there?
No, we don't get invited to the same event at the same time.
Okay, so what does he say about this?
As far as he's concerned, he says that he's not okay with it, but he has a lot of women in his family, so he feels like just to keep less arguments, he doesn't want to argue, but he has expressed that to them, but they kind of do whatever they want.
Okay, well, I would tell him this, because it's not really a matter of having an argument over it, but he should tell them, look, I need my girlfriend to come, and I feel like this. Why aren't you invited if she's there too?
Right. I feel like it's got to be a problem with him also. Like, maybe he's not expressing to them the way he is, like the way he says he expressed it to them, to me. Like,
maybe you would be more comfortable if you went to these events as well.
Like last weekend, not last weekend, but the weekend before, they went all to surprise his sister in another state or whatever. I found out very last minute that his ex-girlfriend was there. and he didn't tell me that.
Do you think that there's anything going on between them still?
I don't think there's anything going on with them. I just think that he's not being strong and stern on letting his family know
he's
that
being a pushover. He's being a pushover.
Right. I think he's not letting them know, like, listen, I'm with a new woman, and I understand that you guys have respect for my ex, but please understand that I'm with someone else. I don't mind the ex being around. I just don't think it's necessary for her to be around for
all the time.
Exactly. It's kind of a line of respect. So I just keep hearing when I ask friends, like, oh, you don't understand, you don't have kids, and it's like, okay, but at what point do it stop?
All right, I feel like this. Is she respectful towards you? Like, have you met her? Do y'all have any type of relationship where, because the kids might be around him and you at the same time, do you know his child's mother?
I don't know her personally, no, but I know people who do know of her.
Does she seem like she's respectful to you?
Like I said, I don't know her. I don't know.
Okay. Well, he needs to make sure that y'all know each other if he's in this for the long haul. So I would tell him, listen, I understand you have children. I don't have any, so you're right. I don't know what that's like. But I'm not comfortable with her coming to things, and I'm not invited because she's there. I think that if we want this blended family to work, when you guys have events, you should make a point of making sure that I'm there as well.
And his answer was, when we had this conversation, was, I'm just not going to go to any of my family events until they get the picture. It's either me or her. And I'm like, that's going to make me look bad, because they're going to immediately think you're not coming because of your new girlfriend.
Right. You should tell him, no, I don't want you to not go see your family. I don't want you to not go to the events. And he should make sure, and you said he has told his family, and they should be aware of this, but he should be very stern and, okay, you guys are going to keep inviting her to things. If you keep inviting her, I'm definitely bringing my girlfriend. I'm not going to readjust my life and my relationship because you want to continue to have a relationship with my child's mother. And I think it's good that everybody can potentially get along, so you have to go in there open-minded. I know it's going to be a little bit weird for you at first, but you need to make sure that he brings you. Just tell him, I'm not comfortable, and I don't want you to not be with your family, but just bring me. I'm going to be cool. We're going to be chill. As long as she's chill, that's what's going to make me feel better. And maybe everybody will get the picture. She might not want to come anymore.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If you're there, she might be like, all right, this is awkward. I'm just not going to come. Or she might be more comfortable.